Generating air power doesn't begin when an aircraft takes off, it starts long before the engines ignite. It begins with the precision, discipline, and coordination of flightline operations. Understanding these fundamentals is the key to safely and effectively launching and recovering aircraft, ensuring the reliable delivery of combat capability. The learning objective for this lesson is, working in small teams, demonstrate understanding of flightline layout, operations, safety protocols, and FOD prevention by identifying key areas and markings, explaining operational procedures, recognizing hazards, and applying safety measures with no more than 2 instructor assists. By the end of this lesson, trainees will be able to explain the basic operational procedures conducted on a flight line, identify and describe the key areas and markings of a typical flight line, recognize and mitigate potential hazards present on a flight line, explain the importance of adhering to flight line safety regulations and procedures, and define foreign object damage, FOD, and implement effective FOD prevention techniques. First, let's begin with an overview of the flightline layout and terminology needed to understand the main areas of an airfield and how they work together to support aviation operations. Let's begin with the airfield. An airfield is a designated piece of land used for the takeoff, landing, and maintenance of aircraft. It is the core of aviation activity, where everything from flight operations to ground support occurs. Within the airfield lies the flight line, which includes runways, taxiways, aprons or ramps, controlled movement areas, and uncontrolled movement areas. The runway is a paved strip of ground used for the landing and takeoff of aircraft. It's engineered for high speeds and heavy loads. A taxiway is a designated route that allows aircraft to move between the runway and other parts of the airfield. The controlled movement area, or CMA, includes areas like runways and taxiways. Access is strictly regulated by air traffic control to ensure safety. The uncontrolled movement area encompasses zones such as the apron and maintenance facilities, where ATC instructions are not required. Why do we need different names for all these areas? Each term defines a specific function and level of control. These distinctions enhance safety, efficiency, and communication across the airfield. Understanding flightline terminology isn't just about knowing where things are, it's about knowing how they work together to keep aviation safe and effective. Now that we've covered the key terminology and layout of the flight line, let's shift our focus to something equally important: the common hazards found in these areas. Understanding the environment is just the first step. Recognizing potential risks is essential to maintaining safety and preventing accidents on the flight line. First, we have aircraft movement. Moving aircraft pose a serious hazard due to their massive size, which creates blind spots and limits visibility for pilots and ground personnel. Their presence alone is a physical threat to anyone nearby. Combine that with extreme noise, moving equipment, and busy personnel, and it becomes clear: vigilance and adherence to safety procedures are essential to prevent accidents. Next, let's talk about jet blast, prop wash, and rotor wash. These forces can be intensely powerful, capable of knocking down people and equipment in seconds. Jet blast, in particular, can reach extremely high temperatures, adding the risk of burns and heat damage. That's why it's critical to stay outside designated safety zones and respect all warning signs and barriers. Another major hazard is engine noise. On the flight line, engine noise can be deafening, severely impairing both verbal and audible communication. This makes it difficult to relay critical instructions, warnings, and safety information, increasing the risk of miscommunication and accidents. Prolonged exposure can also lead to hearing damage, which is why hearing protection and noise mitigation strategies are not optional, they're essential. Next, let's discuss foreign object damage, or FOD. Even small items like rocks, tools, or loose debris can be disastrous if ingested by an aircraft engine. FOD can lead to engine failure, damaged tires, control surfaces, and other critical components. That's why regular inspections and cleanup are crucial to prevent expensive damage and ensure safety. Next, we have hazardous materials, or hazmat. Flightline operations involve fuels, oils, solvents, and other chemicals that pose fire, burn, respiratory, and environmental risks. Improper handling can endanger personnel, aircraft, and the environment. Following proper procedures, using correct labeling, and wearing personal protective equipment are key to safe hazmat management. High-voltage equipment is another serious hazard. Exposed wiring, damaged gear, and external power sources can cause electrocution or severe injury. strict adherence to grounding procedures, equipment inspections, and safety protocols is essential to prevent deadly accidents. Moving vehicles also present a hazard. With limited visibility and high congestion, there's a real risk of collisions with aircraft or personnel. Enforcing speed limits, using designated routes, and maintaining clear communication are vital for safe vehicle operations. Slips and falls are common but preventable. Uneven surfaces, oil spills, loose equipment, and poor lighting can lead to injuries like sprains or fractures. Prevention starts with keeping the area clean, wearing proper footwear, and staying alert to surroundings. Finally, we must consider weather hazards. Extreme temperatures, rain, snow, ice, and high winds all create dangerous conditions. Lightning, in particular, is a deadly electrical threat. Monitoring weather conditions and taking appropriate precautions is essential to protect personnel and equipment. Each of these hazards is part of daily life on the Flightline. But with awareness, training, and strict safety protocols, we can minimize risks and maintain a safe working environment. Now that we've identified the key hazards present on the Flightline, it's time to focus on how we can stay safe while working in this high-risk environment. Let's explore the principles of general Flightline safety awareness, the everyday practices, behaviors, and precautions that help protect personnel, equipment, and aircraft from harm. First, let's cover personal protective equipment, or PPE. On the Flightline, personal protective equipment, or PPE, is essential for protecting personnel from a wide range of hazards. Each item plays a critical role in keeping workers safe in this high-risk environment. Aircraft engines and ground equipment produce loud noise levels. Earplugs or earmuffs are essential to prevent hearing damage and preserve situational awareness. Safety glasses or goggles shield the eyes from flying debris, chemical splashes, and intense light, helping prevent serious injuries. Steel-toed boots guard against impacts, punctures, and crushing injuries, especially in areas with heavy equipment and moving vehicles. Different types of gloves protect hands from chemical exposure, abrasions, and extreme temperatures, depending on the task at hand. Hard hats are crucial for preventing head injuries from falling objects or accidental impacts in busy work zones. Reflective vests or jackets ensure personnel are easily seen, especially in low-light conditions or near moving vehicles, reducing the risk of accidents. Together, these PPE items form a comprehensive safety barrier against the many hazards present on the Flightline. Wearing the right gear isn't just a recommendation, it's a responsibility. Next is situational awareness. Maintaining strong awareness of your surroundings on the Flightline is crucial for spotting potential hazards and responding quickly to changing conditions. By consistently checking your environment and understanding the activities nearby, you can greatly lower the chance of accidents and create a safer work area for yourself and your team. Now let's discuss the importance of following instructions and technical data. On the Flightline, strict adherence to instructions is non-negotiable, as even minor deviations can have catastrophic consequences. Following procedures and heeding directions ensures a coordinated and safe environment, minimizing the risk of errors and protecting both personnel and equipment. Finally, let's talk about the importance of reporting safety hazards. Reporting safety hazards on the Flightline is a vital responsibility that safeguards everyone. Recognizing and reporting potential dangers enables quick corrective measures, preventing accidents and promoting a culture of safety. As we wrap up our overview of Flightline safety, there's one final topic that deserves special attention: foreign object damage, or FOD. FOD is one of the most preventable yet potentially devastating hazards on the Flightline. Let's take a closer look at what it is, why it matters, and how we can stay vigilant to keep our aircraft and personnel safe. Foreign object damage, FOD, refers to any substance, debris, or object foreign to an aircraft or its systems that could cause damage. This includes anything from small rocks, metal fragments, tools, plastic pieces, to even wildlife. The potential damage from FOD is extensive and can range from minor cosmetic issues to catastrophic failures. When ingested into an aircraft engine, even a tiny piece of FOD can cause significant damage to the compressor blades, leading to engine overheating, reduced performance, or even complete engine failure. FOD can also harm aircraft tires, puncture hydraulic lines, damage control surfaces, and block critical sensors. The consequences can involve costly repairs, delays in operations, and, in the worst cases, accidents resulting in injury or loss of life. Foreign object damage, FOD, originates from a variety of sources on and around the Flightline. Understanding these sources is crucial for effective prevention. Let's take a closer look at the most common sources of FOD and how they threaten aircraft safety. Lost or forgotten tools, like wrenches, screwdrivers, and sockets, can easily be left behind during maintenance. If ingested into an engine or caught in moving parts, they can cause catastrophic damage. Small items such as nuts, bolts, washers, safety wire, and rivets often fall off aircraft or equipment. Even the tiniest piece of hardware can lead to significant mechanical failure. Items like shop rags, paper towels, tape scraps, and other cleaning materials can be sucked into engines or become entangled in landing gear, posing serious risks. Environmental debris, such as rocks, sand, and gravel, can be kicked up by aircraft or vehicles. Nearby construction materials also increase the risk of FOD if not properly contained. Everyday objects like pens, pencils, badges, cell phones, and even loose change can accidentally fall onto the flight line. These small items can cause big problems if not immediately retrieved. Preventing FOD requires constant vigilance, routine inspections, and a strong commitment to clean work practices. Every item left behind is a potential threat to aircraft safety, and every team member plays a role in keeping the flight line clear. Now, let's look at real-world examples of U.S. Air Force aircraft damaged by foreign object damage, FOD, which highlight the importance of strict FOD prevention protocols. In March 2023, an F-35A Lightning II at Luke Air Force Base suffered nearly $4 million in engine damage, all because of a single overlooked item. During a routine maintenance inspection, a flashlight was accidentally left inside the engine intake. When the engine was powered on for a ground run, the flashlight was ingested, causing abnormal vibrations and internal damage to the aircraft's F-135 turbofan engine. The aircraft was immediately taken offline for repairs. The incident revealed critical gaps in checklist compliance and tool accountability, highlighting how even small oversights can lead to major consequences. This event serves as a powerful reminder: FOD prevention isn't optional, it's essential. Every tool must be accounted for, every checklist followed, and every team member must stay vigilant to protect our aircraft and our mission. Over a 24-year period, the U.S. Air Force recorded more than 100,000 wildlife strikes, resulting in 27 fatalities, 13 aircraft lost, and over $800 million in damages. In this photo, you see an airman preparing to fire the bird air strike hazard gun. The bash gun is used to prevent birds from posing a threat to aircraft. These incidents often occur during takeoff and landing, highlighting the importance of wildlife management as part of FOD prevention. In this lesson, we've explored the essentials of flightline operations, from understanding the layout and terminology of an airfield, to identifying common hazards, practicing general safety awareness, and recognizing the risks of foreign object damage, or FOD. By now, you should have a solid understanding of the key components that make up a flight line and the safety challenges it presents. Remember, the knowledge you've gained here isn't just for the classroom, it's meant to help you navigate the airfield confidently and responsibly. Staying alert, following procedures, and applying what you've learned will help keep you, your team, and our aircraft safe. Your assignment is to review the material from this lesson and ensure you understand what's expected of you in a flightline environment. This concludes our lesson on flightline fundamentals. Stay sharp, stay safe, and thank you for your attention.